Hey everyone, this is Larry from wstrades.com. Today we're going to do some technical analysis on the indexes by looking into SPY, which is the S&P 500, QQQ, which is NASDAQ, and DIA, which is Dow. And first up we have SPY, which is the S&P 500, and I threw these fibs on. I'm going to go to the weekly. Went to the weekly chart and threw the fibs on, our Fibonacci retracements, on the move that we had up, and then once this thing started selling off, I put the Fibonacci retracement tool on that. And if we go to the daily, we can see, we had this rally, then started selling off again, and came down to this golden ratio, which is the 61.8 level at about 434. And I'm hoping things are kind of ripping back today. I'm hoping that this thing can get back up to this level or very close to it, like we had on, what was this, 920. So we had massive selling pressure and dumped SPY down to about 429, which is the 78.6 retracement level. And then buyers stepped in and, pulled it right back up. So if we can't get SPY up to around 434, then I'm thinking this thing's fallen all the way back down to the low that we've seen, or the most recent low at about 422. All the indicators are saying this thing's still selling off. You got the momentum still falling further on the TTM squeeze histogram. MACD, same thing, which is moving averages, or that's what it's based off of, is moving averages. Yeah, this thing just looks like a mess. So yeah, I'd like to see SPY finish somewhere around 434 to really have some confidence in a move up. But yeah, right now I'm thinking this thing's probably, like I said, if we can't finish above 434, I'm thinking we're coming down to 422 before we see any sort of support step in and buyers jump back into the market. All right, so let's go to the Qs. All right, yeah, so the Qs fell through that that retracement. I did the same thing. I went to the weekly chart and went off of this move. It was a little, not really the best retracement or way to put the Fibonacci retracements on, because we had this sideways action for a while. Usually you'll go from a low to a high, but we had this this week we had a sell off. So anyways, it's still pretty standard stuff. Just went from this weekly candle up to the move until we started having the whole market sell off. Let's go back to the daily. And yeah, so you can see it's finding support at this 78.6 level. It sold off to it, and then next day we had a lot of price action, tried to break through into the golden ratio, and just got shot right back down to this about 358 level. And today had a massive sell-off, dip below that level, and then got bought right back into it. Same thing, if this level can't hold, then I'm thinking the Qs are going down to about 351, 352. And then we also have a long-term trend line that goes way back that this thing's about to reach. So honestly, I don't think the selling is quite over. I wish it was, so I could go long on some stuff, because there's some pretty good prices to be had. But yeah, I honestly, unless this thing can track sideways and then catch back up to that trend line, I could see the Qs falling off to about 351, 352. So same thing with the indicators. This thing almost hit the oversold level on the RSI. You have the parabolic SAR still at the short. Same thing with the TTM histogram, which is based off of momentum. This thing fired short and no sign of coming back. MACD, same thing. MACD's kind of switched over at this point with the moving averages. So hopefully this is the bottom and we can see some upward momentum. But like I said, I could definitely see SPY coming down and hitting this like 352. So keep an eye on those two those price levels. And now last one, let's go to DIA, which is Dow Jones. So Dow has been selling off, before the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Didn't have the fibs on this thing. I don't even know where the heck you'd place them, but this thing's definitely sold through the golden ratio at this point. You saw the momentum on the TTM histogram kind of pulling back up, a little bit of a nice rally, and then selling just continued this past 3 days. So same thing here. The only place I see some decent support would be around 338-ish level. So this might be close enough that buyers will step back in and start to rally, but like I say, I'm not convinced that the selling's over on everything. We had some news. I don't know if this is going to pull up the. Yeah, so we got. Let's click on this. Of course, it's just one sentence. U.S. indices are trading higher amid infrastructure talks. Don't see how that's higher, seeing as we're down 1% on the Dow. Rebound following, infrastructure talks. Senate Majority Leader Schumer late Wednesday announced an agreement on the continuing resolution to prevent government shutdown. Stocks also rebounded after following recent yield concerns. So, they were, I guess you could call it rallying. That's, indexes aren't up by any stretch of the imagination, but they were down, especially close this news. The Qs and SPY were getting crushed this morning, and you can see this wick right here. So I guess you could take that as a positive, but it's still definitely selling off. S&P's down 0.5% right now. Something in this news that I saw was interesting. Yeah, so the Fed now is saying that where'd it go? Yeah, so you have the Fed saying that they believe supply constraints will ease next year. Says he assumes tapering off of asset purchases start late this year or January and end in the middle of next year or fall. And we also had some good news, I believe. Bitcoin is ripping because the Fed chair says that they have no plans to ban cryptocurrencies, but they did say that he thinks it's appropriate to regulate stablecoins, which I don't believe the government should be anywhere near cryptocurrency. They've done such a fine job inflating the US dollar. I think they should stay the hell away from crypto, but they got to get their hands in everything, so we'll see. But yeah, so that's my technical analysis on the indexes. Just keep an eye on these fib levels on SPY, the 434 level. Love to see SPY make a nice rally up to that. If not, then I think this thing's selling off to about 422. So anyways, it's a technical analysis on the indexes. Thank you guys for watching.